I will be ranking over 100 different Minecraft mobs on the tier list from worst to best, starting off with one of the most iconic mobs, the Creeper. You can find this guy pretty much anywhere, whether it's in the Minecraft logo, in stores as a plushie, in cinemas, and obviously outside of your house when you least expect it. The Creeper is one of the deadliest Minecraft mobs, dealing 32 hearts of damage on hard mode, so he can instantly kill you even in diamond armor, leaving behind these annoying holes which you have to patch up. And if that wasn't bad enough, there's even an upgraded version of the Creeper, the Charge Creeper. This creature, which is summoned with lightning, deals up to 64 hearts of damage and has a massive explosion, blowing up pretty much anything in its range. Now, the Creeper is actually one of the first mobs that was added to Minecraft, also being one of the weirdest mobs at the same time. I mean, just look at this guy. Why is bro built like that? Well, there's actually a pretty insane story of how the Creeper was created. You see, 15 years ago, Notch, who's the creator of Minecraft, wanted to add pigs to the game. However, he really messed up the texture, and the result was this creepy looking creature, which eventually turned into the Creeper we all know today. Love him or hate him, the Creeper has some great lore and is one of the most unique Minecraft mobs. So I'm gonna put both of the Creeper variants in A tier. Next up, we're gonna rank one of the most useless mobs in the game, the llama. Most of the time, you'll encounter llamas in the savannah biome, but pretty much any player who sees llamas walks right past them. Because other than spitting at you when you attack them, they do basically nothing. Llamas don't drop anything when you kill them, you can't put a saddle on these guys and ride them like a horse or a donkey, even though you can put carpets on llamas for some reason, and overall the llama's a pretty forgettable mob, which is why I'm gonna give the llama an F tier. Now that we're done with llamas, let's rank a mob that's actually useful, the villager. Using villagers, you can literally trade sticks and get diamond armor from it. But that's not it, you can also trade for food, tools, and anything you'd need in your survival world. So having a couple of villagers at your base can be a real game changer. Unless of course one of them is trying to scam you. Time to say goodbye to your friends! Anyways, I think the villager is one of the best and most useful mobs in Minecraft, so I'm gonna put the villager in S tier. The mob we're gonna rank next is basically a worse version of the villager, the wandering trader. Honestly now, has anyone ever traded with this guy? The items he sells are absolutely trash. I mean, who the heck would buy a freaking seed or flowers for an emerald, when both of those items are so easy to get? Maybe he has some niche uses, but overall, the Wandering Trader is more like a walking ripoff. As for the tier list, I'm gonna put the Wandering Trader in F tier. Next up, we have the rabbit. Honestly, I think it's a pretty mid mob, because it's kinda cute, but doesn't really do anything. Oh wait, I almost forgot you can kill it for rabbit hide and some meat. Then again, I bet you've never killed a rabbit for food before, unless you're literally starving. And rabbit hide is just a worse version of leather. At least you can turn rabbit hide into normal leather, so I guess that's something, but I'm afraid it's still not enough to put the rabbit above C tier. Now, the killer rabbit on the other hand is much cooler. I mean, who would expect this little guy to be so tough and attack you? Sadly, you can only get the killer rabbit with commands, but it would be awesome to see this guy spawn normally. Like, what if every 1 in 100 rabbits turned into a killer rabbit? I hope you're taking notes, Mojang! Back to the tier list. I like the killer rabbit more than the normal one, so I think I'm gonna put him in B tier. The Happy Ghast is one of the newest mobs in Minecraft and immediately turned into a fan favorite. It's safe to say the entire Minecraft community just loves this guy. I mean, I totally get it, the Happy Ghast is a pretty cool and unique mob after all. The small version of it is really cute, while the grown-up ones are great because you can just fly around with them. Who would have thought? Mojang added a new mob that's actually useful for once. Flying around on the Happy Ghast is really nice for building and getting around your Minecraft world. What can I say? That's an A tier mob right there. Oh yeah, the normal ghast is also a thing. I don't have much to say about that one, it's just really annoying. Trash tier. The next mob we're gonna rank is the opposite of trash, the chicken. It's one of the OG Minecraft mobs, being added all the way back in 2010. Since then, the chicken has become more and more iconic, so much so that even people who don't play Minecraft still recognize it. Obviously, it's also my favorite Minecraft mob. I mean, my skin is literally a chicken in a hoodie, and my channel, which you should subscribe to, is named ChickenBoyy. In fact, I love chickens so much that I even built an automatic farm to get thousands of them for a video. The thing is, this made the server I was playing on way too laggy, making the game pretty much unplayable. And if you're used to playing on laggy servers too, I have the perfect solution for you. Mint Servers is a server host which you can use on both Java and Bedrock Edition. For just $10 a month, you get unlimited RAM for your server, which means you can say goodbye to lag forever. Now you can install any mods you want and even have unlimited players join your server without slowing it down too much. That's because Mint Servers runs on top-notch hardware, unlike other server providers I've tried in the past. With servers all around the world, you can choose the one closest to you for the best ping and latency. Just pick a plan that fits best and open a new server. The link is in the description and in the comments. And now, back to the tier list. In a recent update, the chicken got 2 new variants, which is pretty neat, and I think it's nice to see that classic mobs like the chicken still get updates to this day. Now, you chicken haters out there might think the chicken is a weak mob because it only has 2 hearts, but let's be honest right here. Who needs hearts when you have infinite aura? You already know the chicken is going into the S tier. Now we're gonna rank the skeleton. When skeletons were first added to Minecraft, they didn't even have bows, but still fired arrows, which looked really cursed. Another fun fact is that skeletons can actually be left-handed. Other than that, there's not too much interesting about the skeleton though, and it's definitely one of the most annoying hostile mobs. To be honest, I've had way too many close encounters with skeletons. Like, these guys must have aimbot installed or something. Overall, I would give the skeleton a D tier. But that's not it, because there are a lot more skeletons out there, which you probably forgot about. For starters, there's the skeleton horse, which spawns during thunderstorms. I have to admit, the first time I ever saw a skeleton horse, I was really confused. Let's just say, I was not expecting a freaking skeleton trap to go off once I got close to it. But despite scaring the absolute heck out of me, it's still a pretty cool feature. The skeleton horse is a pretty rare mob too, so I feel like riding it is just a huge flex. You can even ride this guy underwater, which is insane. So I would give the skeleton horse an A tier. Then we also have the stray, a skeleton that spawns in cold biomes and shoots slowness arrows. It's almost the same thing as the normal skeleton, so I'm gonna give it the same rating, D tier. The bog is also very similar to the skeleton, only that it shoots poison arrows. At least this version has a better design, and it really looks like a swamp creature with stuff even growing on it. Anyways, it's still not better than a D tier. Next up, we have the wither skeleton, which is definitely the strongest of them all. Just 2 or 3 hits from this guy and you're already cooked, because the withering attack does insane amounts of damage. And so many times when I'm in the fortress, these guys just spawn out of nowhere. When I checked out some other tier lists of Minecraft mobs, I saw they put the wither skeleton in amazing or A tier. Are you guys tripping? There's no way the wither skeleton is that good. I know you can make some pretty decent farms with them, and you need their skulls to summon the wither, but that still doesn't make them better than a C tier. The actual wither, however, is a much better mob. It's not only the hardest boss in the game, especially in Bedrock Edition, where the wither is absolutely overpowered, but when killing it, you get rewarded with a nether star, the item you need to craft a beacon. Somehow, that makes the wither the only boss in Minecraft which actually drops decent loot, so I'm gonna put the wither in A tier. Now we're gonna rank the 4 different types of fish in Minecraft, starting with the salmon. Here are 2 little fun facts about them. First up, if you're playing on Bedrock Edition, you might have noticed salmon spawn in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Also, these guys can actually swim up small waterfalls, just like fish do in real life, which is pretty cool. They're also a decent food source, but more like a last resort, because normally you're just better off killing other animals. So I think it's fair to put the salmon in B tier. The second type of fish is the cod, which again is alright as a food source, but not anything special. In fact, I always like the salmon more than the cod, because this guy just lacks the personality of a salmon. And it even restores less hunger bars, which means the cod is objectively worse than the salmon and goes into the C tier. The pufferfish, on the other hand, is not a food source, unless of course you want to get poisoned. This little guy is great for building traps though, as it acts like a detector, expanding when players are nearby. This way, it only sets off the redstone in the right moment, activating the trap and catching your victims off guard. You can even use the pufferfish for other stuff like PvP by throwing off players with their poison. I actually attempted to troll people with this method and it was pretty funny to say the least. I feel like other people straight up forgot about all this fun stuff and put the pufferfish in the worst tiers, even though it's really not that bad. I do get it's hella annoying to deal with sometimes, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. The tropical fish is definitely the most unique fish of them all. That's because there are over 3,000 variants of tropical fish, which is insane to think about. And what's even crazier is that this YouTuber called Mudflaps got all of them in Minecraft Hardcore, which is not only a mind-blowing achievement, but also a great reminder that you should go touch some grass every once in a while. Unfortunately, you can't cook tropical fish and it barely fills up your hunger bar, but I can look past that and give them a B tier. The Phantom is definitely one of the worst mobs in all of Minecraft. It spawns when you don't sleep for a few days in a row and is mad annoying, because it just keeps on flying up and down, attacking you over and over again. What's even worse is that phantoms spawn in huge swarms most of the time, so they are really hard to kill and just keep on bullying you. The way phantoms work doesn't even make any sense. Why should you get punished for not skipping the night and fighting off mobs instead? That's literally punishing players who take risks, which is just stupid. I genuinely can't believe this joke of a mob won the mob vote in 2017 when the other options were so much better. I think phantoms should be deleted from the game immediately, and they don't deserve anything higher than trash tier. The Iron Golem is a goated mob, not only because it's loyal to villagers and defends them from any danger, but especially because it's a great source of iron. That's why killing the Iron Golem is the first thing I do when I find a new village, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do the same. If you want to get more advanced, you can even build an automatic iron farm by torturing a lot of these big guys. After this, you get such an insane amount of iron that you never need to go mining for it again. You can also make your very own army with these tough guys, so hostile mobs won't bother you anymore. And now cue the Iron Golem edit. Wait a second, the what? Yo, why did that actually go hard? I think I like Big Guy even more now. Come here, man, let me give you a hug. Oh crap. What can I say? The Iron Golem definitely gets an S tier. When exploring ocean monuments, you'll come across guardians. And these guys are honestly a pain to fight because their attack does a lot of damage and it's not that easy to dodge. Even if you manage to kill one of the guardians, they don't even drop anything useful, which is kind of a bummer. I guess their design is pretty cool, but that doesn't save the Guardian from the D tier. There's also the Elder Guardian, which is kind of a boss, and I only said kind of because it feels more like a mini-boss. It's not as deadly as the Ender Dragon or Wither, but definitely more annoying. That's because the Elder Guardian can give you mining fatigue, which lasts 5 minutes but feels more like an eternity. Just like the normal Guardian, this guy doesn't even drop anything good, so why even bother to kill him? The Elder Guardian is going into the D tier as well. You could say the Elder Guardian is the lamest boss in Minecraft, but the Warden is the exact opposite. Ever since the Warden and the Deep Dark were added in the Wild update, caves never felt the same again. These skulk sensors detect any sound you make, activating the Skulk Shrieker. And once it goes off 5 times, you're screwed, because that summons the Warden. If that's not a cool spawning animation, then I don't know what is. The Warden not only looks like something straight out of a horror game, but it's not just about looks, as the Warden is actually the deadliest mob in Minecraft. Even if you have full diamond armor, you still get one-shot by the Warden. And because of its sonic boom attack, you can't even build up from it to be safe. Unfortunately, the Warden doesn't drop actual good loot, but I think the insane stuff in ancient city chests does make up for that. So overall, I would give the Warden an A tier. The Endermite is one of the smallest mobs in Minecraft. It actually can't spawn on its own, only appearing sometimes when you throw an Ender Pearl. The thing is, the Endermite doesn't really do anything besides attacking you, so it's pretty much pointless. Well, actually, you're totally wrong. Because the Endermite is used in this Enderman farm, which gives you a lot of XP and Ender Pearls. Oh, just shut up, man. Alright, now that we got that sorted, I can finally put the Endermite in F tier, because this little thing doesn't deserve anything higher. I feel like the slime is a mob that's more rare than people think. Because normally you don't even see this guy in your world. Except if you're playing on super flat, because there they spawn the entire time. In default Minecraft worlds, however, the slime can only spawn in swamp biomes and in so-called slime chunks apparently. Not that I know how that works.
Bruh.
Anyways, when I do encounter slimes, I instantly kill them for their balls. Because you need them to craft stuff like sticky pistons. Let's not talk about what I need those for. All jokes aside, the slime is a decent mob and deserves a B tier. Dolphins are actually pretty cool, especially because they can give you underwater speed boosts. I mean, who doesn't like swimming around with these guys? They're just adorable, whether in Minecraft or in real life. If you didn't know, you can also feed fish to dolphins and they will lead you to an ocean ruin or shipwreck, which is a really underrated feature. So I would put the dolphin in A tier. Man, there are just so many mobs in Minecraft, how am I gonna rank them all? I don't think I have the time for that, to be honest. Like, what can I do? Wait a second, I got the perfect idea. It's time for the ultimate ranking speedrun. Starting off with the bat, which drops nothing and is absolutely useless. F tier. The cow's just good, not great, and you only ever need it for food. B tier. Same thing with the sheep, you just kill it to get some food and that's it. B tier as well. I kinda forgot the ocelot was a thing, which just shows how bad it is. So it's going in the D tier. The snow golem on the other hand is a mob I actually like. Not because it does a good job defending you, because let's be honest, it really doesn't. But you gotta admit, this guy does have some charm to him. Also, the sheared version of snow golems just looks hilarious, so I'm putting them in B tier. The squid just exists in oceans and rivers, I guess? At least they're chill, so I'm putting them in D tier. I know everyone hates the glow squid ever since it won the mob vote, but personally I think it's just as good as the normal squid, so D tier it is. The strider is one of the few peaceful mobs in the nether. Theoretically you can use them to ride across lava pools, but I haven't seen many people do that. In my opinion, the strider is just average, so it's going into the C tier. The magma cube is just the worst version of the slime, and no one can tell me otherwise. F tier. I feel like frogs and tadpoles are just there for the vibes. They do add some nice ambience to the game, so I would give both of them a C tier. I like the shulker as an item, but the shulker itself, not so much. I mean, it's just a pain to deal with when you're in end cities. So that evens out to a B tier. We all know the Ender Dragon, the main boss in Minecraft. When you're beating it for the first time, it's an actual hard challenge. After that, however, the dragon fight seems a bit too easy. But hey, at the end of the day, the dragon is still really iconic and deserves a B tier. Nowadays, the pig isn't that special of a mob. Sure, it drops pork chops, but that's not even the best food in the game when you have steak and golden carrots. However, back in the day, you could only get food from pigs, because chickens only dropped feathers, sheep only dropped wool, and cows only dropped leather. The pig was also the first ever mob you could ride, long before horses ever existed. Fast forward to the present, or at least the beginning of this year, 2 new pig variants were added that both look great, even though they seemed a bit weird at first. As for the tier list, the pig is getting an A tier. Next up, we have the witch, which has the potential to be a great mob, but it's missing a lot. Like the witch's drops, which are absolutely garbage, when she could drop actual good stuff like strength or health potions. So yeah, I can't give the witch any higher than F tier. The entire Minecraft community just loves dogs, and I can totally see why. First of all, I like that they can help you fight off mobs like zombies and skeletons. Also, it just feels nice to have a companion that follows you around all the time. And recently, dogs got a huge upgrade with new variants and dog armor. That being said, I feel like the dog is not quite an S tier mob, so it's going into the A tier. To get dog armor in the first place, you need armadillos. Almost everyone knows they roll up into a ball and take less damage when you attack them. But what not many people know is that they're scared of undead mobs like zombies, and will roll up once they get too close. This is more of a personal thing, but when the armadillo won the mob vote in 2023, it kinda pissed me off because I wanted the crab to win. You can call me a hater if you want, but the armadillo is only getting a D tier. The spider is the only mob in Minecraft that can climb up walls. What's also unique about them is that they'll attack you in the dark, but not when it's light outside. And sometimes, spiders spawn in with a potion effect, like strength, speed, or regen. I think the spider is just alright, so I'm gonna give it a C tier. Cave spiders are the smaller, more annoying version of spiders, because they not only attack you, but also give you the poison effect. Luckily, they only appear when there's a spawner in mineshafts or in trial chambers, so most of the time you can just avoid this D tier mob. There's also the spider jockey, which is just a skeleton riding a spider, and I don't have a lot to say about this creature, except that it's basically the worst version of a chicken jockey, which I'll come back to later. As for the spider jockey, I would give it a C tier just like the spider. Coming up, we have the goat. I think that's the wrong one. Now that's more like it. Goats are actually not as common as most people think, because they only spawn in a few biomes. When you do meet them, however, you'll notice they randomly ram into things, because these guys have terrible anger issues. At least you can get a goat horn from them this way, which is a fun item to have. Now, to be honest, I wasn't quite sure what rating I should give the goat, so I just asked you guys to rate it instead. Seems like most of you voted for S tier, so I guess the goat is just a goated mob. You know what's the opposite of goated? The silverfish. This abomination of a Minecraft mob is just there to annoy you when you're in strongholds. And attacking them just provokes other silverfish, which pop up out of nowhere. I don't know who at Mojang thought it was a good idea to add infested blocks to the game, but it only made silverfish an even bigger pain to deal with. And that's why they're going into the trash tier. I actually like the parrot a lot, because it's really cute and vibes to music. Who doesn't love a good jam, am I right? After taming a parrot, you can also pick it up and it will sit on your shoulder. Just whatever you do, don't feed a cookie to your parrot, or I will personally come and find you. Back to the tier list, I would put the parrot in A tier. The panda is another cute mob, especially the baby panda. These guys will just have a nice time, snack on bamboo and roll around, which looks adorable. I gotta admit they don't have a real use, but they're still going into the B tier. The chicken jockey was just another Minecraft mob until the incident a few months ago. At the beginning it was all fun and games, with the chicken jockey being just another meme from the Minecraft movie. However, things escalated quickly and absolute warfare broke out in cinemas during the chicken jockey scene, which was a crazy sight to say the least. This random guy even brought an actual chicken into the movie theater somehow. So we got chicken jockey in real life before GTA 6. It's safe to say people took things a bit too far with this, but I think an A tier rating for the chicken jockey is still fair. You know what mob is definitely not getting an A tier? The Vex. If you thought phantoms were annoying, this guy is the worst version of them. It spawns during raids and is basically a flying nightmare since it can attack you through walls. And on top of that, the Vex deals insane damage, so this little guy is absolutely overpowered. Too bad that won't help the Vex get a better rating, because it's still going into the trash tier. Evokers are actually the mob that summon Vexes, and I would love to give them a bad rating, especially because they have some mad annoying attacks. But the thing is, they actually drop something really good, the Totem of Undying. You can even make a raid farm with these guys and get infinite totems for your world. That's why the Evoker is still going into the B tier, even though I hate fighting against him. The Vindicator is another mob that's a pain to fight against, since it can even break your shield, which makes me wanna break my monitor. But then they drop emeralds, which again is really good for raid farms. So you can get absolutely stacked on emeralds in no time, which means the Vindicator is going into the B tier as well. The normal pillager is a mob I don't like at all. It's like a worse, more annoying version of the skeleton, and it's going into the F tier. Ravagers would be so much cooler if you could ride them as a player, but of course Mojang had to ruin the fun and make it so that only pillagers can ride it. So I guess that means it's joining the pillager in F tier. The Breeze is one of the newer mobs in Minecraft. Ever since 1.21, the Breeze spawns in when you trigger one of these spawners in a trial chamber. Fighting it is pretty challenging because it can jump around and knock you back with its attacks. But the reward for killing it is pretty high because it drops something insanely useful, the breeze balls. With these balls, you can jump up to 10 blocks high. You can use this to your advantage by escaping enemies in fights, or just use it to travel faster through your Minecraft world. Either way, the breeze balls are a goated item, and the breeze should get a higher rating because of that. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. Now that I think about it, the blaze kind of looks like a nether version of the breeze. And the blaze drops something just as, if not more useful than the breeze. Blaze rods, which you need to craft ender eyes and beat the game. Even though blazes kind of trigger me when I'm in fortresses, I can see that they're a necessary evil. So they're gonna go in A tier, just like the breeze. Next up, we have the creaking, which is another one of the newest mobs in Minecraft. I think the concept of a creaking is pretty creative, because it will only attack you when you're not looking at it, and you can't kill it directly only by destroying the creaking heart. It's also really well integrated into the pale forest biome, because it matches this grey dark horror game vibe. For that reason, the creaking deserves a B tier in my opinion. Camels are like the horse of the desert, except you can not only ride them, but also jump over large gaps. You can even ride on camels with your friends, because it can hold 2 players at the same time. They're some of the tallest mobs in Minecraft, and will also get a high rating from me, an A tier. Imagine you're in the nether, walking around the Crimson Forest, minding your own business, maybe trying to find some piglins to trade gold with them. And then this fat pig pulls up out of nowhere and starts attacking you with his squad. That's the average experience you get with hoglins. And if you couldn't already tell, I'm not the biggest fan of them. At least you can scare them off with warp fungus or kill them off for some of that meat. No, seriously, hoglins are pretty much the only way to get food in the nether. Also, I just found out you can actually breed hoglins. So technically, you could make a farm with them. However, I don't know why anyone would ever do that, as the hoglin is a D tier mob at best. Not many people know that once the hoglin goes through a portal into the overworld, it turns into another mob, the zoglin. Once it transforms, it goes crazy and kills any mob in its sight. But at the end of the day, it's just a hoglin with a slightly different texture, so it's going into the D tier as well. I feel like the zombie is the definition of a mid mob. The only special thing about the zombie is that it's the second mob ever added to Minecraft. After whatever this is. I know the zombie is one of the most recognizable mobs in all of Minecraft, but I can't give it any higher than a C tier. Then there are also zombie variants like the husk and the drowned, the desert zombie and the underwater zombie. I think these two are not that interesting, so I'm gonna give them a C tier just like the normal zombie. The zombie villager is a little bit better, because with a weakness potion and a golden apple, you can cure it and turn it into a villager. That puts it 1 tier above the zombie in B tier. Next up is the infamous baby zombie. Don't let this guy's size fool you, because he's way faster and deadlier than a zombie. And we all know what happened to Philza in this hardcore series. As for the tier list, I'm gonna put the baby zombie in F tier, because I really don't like it. Alright, that was it for the zombies.
Hello there.
Wait, what? Zombie horse? You exist? Oh, now I remember. You're the one mob that's not even in the game. Cause you can only get zombie horses in creative mode with spawn eggs. I'm sorry bro, but you're going into the F tier. It's pretty hard to not like axolotls. They're small, adorable, and you can even carry them around in a bucket. Axolotls only spawn in lush caves, and taking them with you is 100% worth it. Because they're not only a cute pet, but can also help you fight off underwater mobs like drowned. In total, there are 5 axolotl variants, with this blue one being the rarest. Fun fact, there's also a secret green version of the axolotl that showed up in the Minecraft trailer but was never actually added to the game. Nonetheless, I still love the axolotl, and you might call me crazy, but I'm putting it in S tier. Most nether mobs are insanely annoying, deal tons of damage, and are out to kill you the entire time. The zombie pigman, however, is not one of them. He's more like a chill guy, walking around the nether and minding his own business. Just don't make the mistake of punching him, his entire gang will pull up. Now, zombie pigmen can actually be really useful because they drop gold nuggets, which means you can make really good gold farms with them. That's why I would put the zombie pigmen in B tier. The piglin is an even better nether mob. As long as you wear gold armor, piglins are chill, and bartering with them is great for stuff like ender pearls, fire res, and obsidian. No wonder speedrunners rely on them to beat the game as fast as possible. Ever since piglins were added in the 1.16 update, the nether feels way more alive in a way. Okay, it's also because of the new biomes and structures, but piglins are definitely one of the nether update highlights. They even hunt down one of my least favorite mobs, the hoglin. And once they get a kill in, they also hit this emote. Man, I just love piglins. They get an S tier for sure. The piglin brute, on the other hand, is a mob I really hate. Bastions are full of these guys who deal way too much damage and can kill you in no time. Trash tier. Next up, we have the bee. I guess it's cute and stuff, but the bee update was one of the lamest, most underwhelming Minecraft updates ever. Also, I'm not gonna pretend I know how beehives work, because I have absolutely no idea. And when it comes to the rating, I would give the bee a C tier. Now we're gonna rank the horse. To this day, I don't understand why you can't just craft saddles to put them on horses. It used to be a feature, but Mojang removed it for absolutely no reason, and now you can only find saddles in chests. Wait a second, you're telling me Mojang just added craftable saddles back? Let's freaking go! Now the horse is an even better mob, because you can get a saddle easily and just need to tame it. It's a really good way to get around your Minecraft world. Unless you get to water, then you're screwed. Another thing about the horse is that it's more of an early game transportation method, because who would use them when you have stuff like an elytra? Even then, the horse is still a pretty good mob, and you can also use it for fun stuff like PvP. That's why I'm gonna put the horse in A tier. There's also the donkey, which is like a horse, except a bit slower. You also can't put armor on them, but let's be honest, no one cares about horse armor anyway. What you can put on them is chests, so you can transport some of your items while riding it. Most of the time, you're better off using a horse though, so the donkey's going into the B tier. Most people don't even know the upcoming mob exists. I'm talking about the mule, which you can get by breeding a horse and a donkey. This guy is fast like a horse, and you can put a chest on it like donkeys, combining the best parts of them. Honestly, it's a pretty underrated mob, and I think it's fair to put it in A tier. I think cats are just an alright mob. You can keep them as pets, and when you go to sleep, they will give you a gift in the morning, which can be one out of these 7 items here. Not too useful, as you can see. That means the cat is only getting a C tier. Turtles are cool to look at, I guess, and they're one of the few mobs that lay eggs. From those, the baby turtle will spawn, one of the smallest mobs in Minecraft. Every now and then, turtles shed off scutes, which you can use to craft a turtle helmet. If you wear it, you get a whole 10 seconds of water breathing, which is pretty trash. Overall, I would give the turtle a C tier. The Enderman is the only mob that spawns in all 3 dimensions. And the balls, I mean ender pearls it drops, are one of the best items in the game. They're a really iconic mob and will also go into the A tier. I feel like the polar bear is one of those mobs where no one knows what it actually does. In this case, that's no wonder, because it does absolutely nothing. It's not as bad as an F tier though, so I would put it in D tier. The sniffer can sniff flower seeds in the ground, like the name says. And I'm sure builders really like these flowers, since they look pretty good. But I'm not much of a builder myself, and the sniffer is going into the C tier. Next up is the fox, one of the only mobs that can pick up items and carry them around. I would say that's pretty cool, but then again, we can't forget about the dark truth behind foxes. You see, at first glance, the fox seems like a harmless mob. But trust me, they're just trying to fool you, because they're actually sneaky predators. I'm not talking about foxes hunting down fish, that's completely fine. The problem comes when they attack some of the cutest mobs, like rabbits, chickens, and worst of all, baby turtles. You're telling me these little guys are your ops? Good job, Foxes. You ruined your chance of getting a good rating and are going straight into F tier. The alley is a mob I haven't really used myself, but I've seen people online make some pretty cool contraptions with them. And you gotta admit, these guys are really cute. Allays are like the better version of Vexes, and they're going into the B tier. Now we're gonna rank the mushroom cow, or mushroom, whatever you call it. It's pretty rare since it only spawns on mushroom islands. However, if you do find them, you should definitely bring a bowl with you, because that way you can milk them for infinite mushroom soup. And who doesn't like an infinite food source? So the mushroom is going into the S tier. Alright, so this is the tier list of every single mob that's currently in Minecraft. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the ratings and how the tier list turned out. Let me know how you would have ranked these mobs in the comments, and at 1,000 likes I will make a part 2 where I rank mob vote losers and other unreleased Minecraft mobs. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.